My ex-boyfriend of 4.5 years blindsided me the exact same way that Matt James did to Rachel Kirkconnell. My ex-boyfriend and I had been talking about getting married for 4.5 years. It was always very clear that that's what I wanted out of our relationship.
Many Nigerian men will pick the girl who doesn't have anything going because they use that as a leverage to control the women.
Many Nigerian men do not like women. Women, this is a conversation for us. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about how marriages are not surviving relocation. Like when people are going to the West, they are getting divorced. And I have my theory for why I think that's happening.
Hello fam, how are you all doing? I hope you all are doing good. Let's have a quick look at this comment. How are you with someone for 4.5 years and not get married? Both of you all are at fault. Met my woman in December 2023, got married November 2024. Most of you all enjoy wasting each other's time. That's the problem. Before we get right into the main video of where that comment is coming from, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you. Let's have a look at this video.
My ex-boyfriend of 4.5 years blindsided me the exact same way that Matt James did to Rachel Kirkconnell. My ex-boyfriend and I had been talking about getting married for 4.5 years. It was always very clear that that's what I wanted out of our relationship, and I really thought that that man was going to be my husband, and it's because he made me think that he was going to be my husband. We had looked at rings, talked about a specific timeline. He said that he was ready. We were hypothetically planning this wedding. I was running Nuuly for all of our dates so that I had cute outfits to potentially wear. He was helping me pick out my nails every month. It seemed very likely that any time we went on a date, any trip we went on, anytime I went out for a couple of months, like there could have been an engagement. That's because he made me think that that was the truth. Just like Matt and Rachel, we went on a trip, had an awesome time. We're talking about engagement, weddings. We got permanent bracelets while we were there. My ex would say that he loved me so much. He was having like the best time with me on the trip. He was so happy in our relationship. I would ask him, how can I be a better partner to you this week? He would always say, you're doing amazing. There's nothing you can do better. That whole trip, he knew that he was gonna end our relationship. And that's exactly what he did. Less than a week after we returned from the trip, and even after picking out a new set of nails for me after we got back from the trip, he sat me down over the dinner that I cooked for us and told me that he couldn't do this, wasn't ready to get married, and that we weren't compatible. And to hear from your partner of over 4 years that you are not compatible, someone that you've lived with and functioned almost like a married couple with for such a long time, is like very insulting, because how could my perception of our compatibility be so different? And what do you mean that it took you 4 years to figure out that we are not compatible? I've been the same person the whole time. Of course, a breakup is hard if you think that things are going well and you're not fighting and you're being told that the relationship is really good. Like, that is hard enough. But to have the buildup of we're about to get engaged, like my life is going in this direction. What next year is going to look like for me is going to be a wedding. It's going to be pregnancies. It's going to be kids in my future, buying a home. I'm going on this upward slope, and then to be like essentially shot down, turn around, start from the beginning. I just know that that is what Rachel is going through right now, and it's really hard. I wish I could say I can't imagine what she's going through. I can't imagine the publicity of what she's going through, but unfortunately I can't imagine the pain and the trauma that she is experiencing from the words that Matt put in her head that made her believe something different. There's a lot more probably that I could say about my own story, but that's just a little bit about what happened to me, and I wish that I couldn't relate to what Rachel is going through, but unfortunately I can. It seems like there's an epidemic of men who can't communicate their feelings ahead of time, and women who are left in their path as casualties, unfortunately.
I think it should become a criminal offense for someone to waste someone else's time, all in the name of relationship. You knew from the beginning that you were not going to be with that person, but you chose to use that person as a placeholder and waste the person's time. In my own personal opinion, whoever that wastes anyone's time for over a year or so should pay some money. That person should be sued. That's what I think, because it's very deceptive. Yeah, it should be a criminal offense. Some men waste women's time just to use them as placeholders. They had to wait for 6 years, 4 years, 3 years to find out that they're not compatible. Like, that's nonsense. Girl, he's probably seeing someone else and chose her. You dodged a bullet. Most men, if not all men, don't leave a current relationship if they are not moving on to a new woman. Hardly would you see a man leave a current relationship and decide to remain single after that relationship broke up. It's a pattern for men. Before they leave a relationship, they must have someone else they're moving on to. Same thing happened to me and my 5-year relationship. We had just put a down payment on a house a week before. Men are mean. So he had to wait for them to make plans together. He had to wait for her to think they have a future together before he could pull that plug. Crazy. My ex did marry me, waited 3 years, proposed, watched me plan wedding for a year, married me, and told me 2 months later that he never wanted to. Like, really? I got the same after 6 years. We were not compatible. That was what he said. We were engaged, living together. He always called me wife. We would lay in bed. He would tell me how happy he is that he met me in his 20s already. So what changed? He suddenly had a change of mind. No, I believe he has someone else somewhere waiting. The Matt James she was making reference to is from the TV series The Bachelor. Let's move on to the next story.
Another day, another poor woman finds out the man she's with really ain't ish. Now, poor Nikki. Y'all, she just had this baby. I mean, granted, it was October 2023, but she just had this baby. And look, you already knew the story was about to be about a man. Just look at him. Just terrible. Now, Nikki just recently posted this on her IG, so let me read it for you. Now, she said, I see everyone has been sending me, and then she tags her baby father, is cheating on me. I want to clear this up and speak my truth. I am just as surprised as you are. We spent 3.5 years together, and last week he decided to walk out on his kids and tell me that he's got someone else pregnant, allegedly. And now is creating a new life with her. We were just happy and planning family photos. I am beyond blindsided by this whole thing. The ultimate betrayal is not even the word. My daughter is not even 2 months old, and dealing with this and postpartum is very hard. She said, please pray for me and my healing because I will get through this. I really dislike men. I have to be strong for my kids, but I have absolutely no words. Karma is real and God don't like ugly. I hope it was worth losing his family. She then posted this in her story after she had posted. That was really sad. Like, I'm not going to go on a rant about how terrible men are, but it was really sad reading that. Now, she posted this in her IG story and she said, the same way you get them is how you lose them. Thinking you're winning by getting pregnant with him who has a newborn is crazy work. Remember, she said that people are sending her stuff saying that he's cheating on her. And so I'm assuming it probably has something to do with the new pregnant woman and maybe her friends or so on and so forth sending Nikki stuff. Because it kind of coincides with this post, like thinking you're winning by getting pregnant with a man who has a newborn. So I feel like the girl who's pregnant probably has something to do with the exposing of him cheating. And if that's so, that's pretty disgusting. Let me just put y'all on game real quick, because I think the whole story is being lost. These men are habitual cheaters, okay? They're never going to wife you, and if they do, they're still going to cheat on you, right? Look at that Dixon lady. And so if you simply just get pregnant by a famous athlete, rapper, whatever, just have the baby and collect the child support. He's going to go to someone else anyway, but at least your bag is secured. Stop trying to coincide getting one of these guys as, you know, getting your meal ticket or making it to the end. No, just know that these guys are passers-by. Let them pass by, get what you're going to get from them, and keep it pushing. He going to end up with somebody else. Stop trying to build perfect family lives with these men. That's not what they want. Okay. If you simply just treat them the way that they want to be treated, like used goods, because that's what most of these athletes and rappers are. They're used goods. Treat them like used goods. If you want to get a baby by him, get a baby by him. Who cares, right? If you want him just to get you courtside seats, get courtside seats. But stop going on these back end type of conversations trying to be like, oh, look, I got your man now. It's like, he was never my man to begin with. Just get what you're going to get out of him and let him keep going. These men are literal rolling stones.
If you decide to date an athlete, a superstar, a musician, the chances or the probability of them cheating on you is really high because number one, they have a lot of eyeballs on them. Number two, a lot of men out there believe that they have the liberty to explore and sleep with so many women as possible. So being with them will probably not stop them from going after other women because they already have the attention, they have the money. So those women out there that chase after men that have got money will definitely be flocking around. That even makes it easier for them to cheat on you. Personally, I wouldn't advise anyone to go after a man, marry a man, or date a man because of his money. You should channel that energy inwardly, invest that time you would spend on that relationship, on yourself, develop yourself, and make your own money. That way, you will keep your dignity and self-respect intact. Let's move on to the next video.
So I'm looking at the statistics of women who are doing well in Nigeria, either in the music industry, in the movie industry. And you can see that most of them that are really up there are either single or divorced. Exactly. So
why do you think this is?
Because to be honest, as women who are looking to date up, women don't
date up.
Yeah.
What do you mean by dating up?
Date up, like date higher than your financial bucket or brackets. Yes.
Okay.
So women look to date up. So if you're already like really up there in the music or movie industry or whatever field you are, the chances of you finding a man who is higher than you is very slim.
Oh,
yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. The thing is, it's different for guys. You know, guys look at maybe personality, they look at booty, they look at breasts and all that stuff. But for women, the first thing they have to know is he earning more than me? Like, where is he at up there?
Yeah.
That can determine if they can either go with the guy or not. It's sad, but it's the fact.
Why don't you expect also the guy to date up?
That's the thing. So I was going to talk about this one because Nigerian society, the way it is, guys are allowed to date down. Actually, guys prefer to date down.
Prefer? If I was single, I would like to date DJ Copy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. To be honest, that's you. You're the exception. To be honest, Stanley, you're the exception.
Why not?
Stanley, you're the exception because the Nigerian men, they have two women. Both of them are 10. One has a career. She's doing really well. She's up there. And the other one is not, but she's also as fine, good looking, has the same, figure.
Your financial position. Come on, if I would want to be, be with a woman that would take me from 0 to 100. Many Nigerian men will.
No, you're speaking from your perspective. Many Nigerian men will pick the girl who doesn't have anything going because they use that as a leverage to control the women.
She's right. They use that as a leverage to control the women. Men would rather date down than date up. Like she rightly said, it's control for them. They want to be the ones in charge, the ones with the bag, the ones that spend the money because that gives them the power, the ability to control the situation. Whoever has the money is in charge of the relationship. The reason why they are not choosing to date up is because dating a woman that has same money as you do as a man, it's going to be a power tussle for that man, and they understand that very well. It's going to be very difficult for a man to control a woman, maltreat a woman, beat a woman up that has got her own money, because they know that if they try any nonsense with that woman, she can use her money and deal with them, but she can easily walk away from the relationship because she has the money to stand on her own and do things for herself. Men understand this whole stuff. They are very calculative. They know the game. They play games. A good number of Nigerian men are good at maltreating women. They see women as slaves. They don't assist with house chores. They believe that they are provider men, and to them, it means just providing money. So it's a woman's responsibility to clean up the house, cater for the entire family, and also be there for the children. Let's have a look at the next video.
Many Nigerian men do not like women. Women, this is a conversation for us. Lately, I've been thinking a lot about how marriages are not surviving relocation. Like when people are going to the West, they are getting divorced. And I have my theory for why I think that's happening. A lot of Nigerian men are taught to be providers. They're not expected to provide anything more to a marriage, and that is a dynamic that works in Nigeria. However, when people go to the West, the playing field is equal, like the playing ground has been equaled and leveled, and you can make money, I can make money. A lot of these women do not see any reason to continue staying married to this man. And I find it very interesting that many men, their theory for why this is happening is that women are getting attention from outside. I'm just like, it is so insulting for you to think that as calculating as women are, a woman will be willing to blow up her entire household because of attention that she's getting outside. The fact that you're underestimating us like that and you think we're that foolish is very insulting. And I find it interesting that instead of narrowing it down and trying to understand why these things are happening, they're blaming so many external factors like feminism, our eyes tearing, blah, 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 blah. I hear a lot of people saying in my mother's day, they weren't doing it like that. And I'm just like, it's quite unfortunate that many women do not tell their sons about what it was like being married to their fathers. Who told you the Nigerian women that were married in the past 2 decades have been enjoying themselves? Where did you get that from? I mean, on an average, not everybody, right? And I think it's so funny that they don't know that if their mothers or if women of that time had access to the resources that women have now, or if they had the opportunity to live and society wouldn't judge them, many of them would have dipped. Let me even address the lack of empathy for women in general. I'll tell you a little story. So a week ago or so, I was in my house and I was hearing commotion outside. And I came out and I saw this lady arguing with this guy. Long and short of the story is that they were both wrong, kind of wrong. But the guy was stepping up to the lady, he wanted to hit her. He was really getting in her face and he was hoping that she would say something that would warrant hitting her. And the lady knew that the guy was doing that. So she's like, oh, you want to hit me? Try it. And at some point, do you know this guy rushed towards her and was trying to hit her? And there were men that were there. And this man held this man back. And do you know what they were saying? They were begging him. Not one single man got in front of that man and said, you can't touch this woman. It's not happening. Instead, they were begging him. They said, you know how women are. That thing blew my mind that they witnessed the entire situation and they think she's upset, not because he's trying to get in her face and hit her, but because she's a woman and you know how women are. And I find it rich that a lot of Nigerian men still think that women are their oppressors. How is a woman your oppressor in a place where you can slap a woman in the street and nothing will happen? And hearing those men boil down that entire scenario to she's a woman, that's why she's acting like that, is a little example of how many of them see us as a group. I look at my comments every day and I see the kind of comments that people leave, especially men. My block list is filled with men. It's not about what they're saying, it's about what they're thinking, and it's about the way they see me. How dare I have an opinion? How dare I have something to say? It's so unfortunate because I don't feel like Nigerian women deserve this. I feel like as a group we are very resourceful. Many women are ride or die. It's not me, I don't die with anybody, but it's so unfortunate that this is the experience that they're having as a whole. I'm not even demonizing men or anything. There's just something to be learned. Rather than providing for someone, there's so much more that goes into a marriage or that goes into a relationship. This is a space for women to freely discuss. If you disagree with me, fine. And if you have your own opinions, but this is just something I've observed from reading thousands of comments on.
She's right. A lot of men hate women. Nigerian men feel very entitled when it comes to women. They feel like they own us. The other day, I saw a news that broke out. This man set his wife on fire. According to them, it was either she cheated or they had family issue. He felt the need to set her on fire to punish her. Who does that? I also saw a video of a man that beat up his girlfriend because she touched his phone. That's the entitlement. Why would you want to beat someone just because both of you are dating? You feel like you own the person. You feel like you have the authority over the person to treat the person anyhow. Men don't like women. A lot of men don't like women because if they do, they wouldn't be maltreating women the way they do.
Mind you, men thrive in relationships and women thrive when they're single. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That's because feminine energy is currency. As women, we are nurturers, we are maternal. And when we're in relationships, aside from the cooking and the cleaning, we pour into men, being their cheerleader, being their sounding board, giving them advice. We lean into that supportive role. But if you're pouring into the wrong man, this is where you find yourself depleted, burnt out, feeling unappreciated, because they're not pouring back into you and playing that masculine role. I'm not saying that as a woman you should stay single so you can thrive. I'm saying that before you give access to a man, ask yourself, can he afford your energy? When a man is standing firmly in his masculinity, you glow differently because you're being taken care of, you're being poured into. A lot of women will rush to be in a relationship with the wrong man because they're lonely, just for the sake of being in a relationship, just to keep up with the Joneses. But true femininity is being comfortable with self, loving yourself, knowing your self-worth, your value, and being able to communicate it.
Dear woman, where is your place in religion? In Christianity, the greatest being in the universe forgot to create you because you weren't that important. Mind you, animals even got their female counterparts, but the same beings that God made after himself, he didn't deem it fit to make you till Adam got bored. If you take a picture of what heaven looks like, well, you have God, the man with long beards. You have the 24 elders, men, long beards. You have the angels, masculine young men with their chest and stuff. Not a single female figurine in their heaven. So again, I ask, where is your place in religion? In Islam, for the true followers of Islam, the men, they get 7 virgins. So what do the virtuous or the true followers of Islam for women, what do they get? 7 male virgins? Or what's the equivalent of that? It's almost as if there's really actually no place for you in religion. It's just you're either rewards for men or something made to support men. As much as we're all entitled to our opinions, I really hope you find yourself as part of the divine feminine. I hope you understand the fact that you are part of all that there is, and indeed part of the divine feminine, the whole, the source.
Thank you so much for watching. If you would love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch a man say grocery shopping isn't manly, it's for women. And I will see you all in the next one.